are these people?
So this story might make y'all mad. It made me mad a little bit when I prepped this. Reef knows. So we're gonna do another deep dive. This is with the help of MintPress. With I wouldn't say friend, but we've read a few of her articles before.
Jessica Buxbaum.
Yeah. Buxbaum, who writes, Globetrotting for genocide, foreign fighters from US, France, and India are fighting Israel's war in Gaza. So if you just thought it's just Israelis who are fighting the assault in Gaza, no, they're actively recruiting people from other countries. We've seen this on Twitter anyway. You probably would have made that connection, but we're going to get more into this situation here and why you should be mad. But anyway, Jessica writes, Israelis aren't the only demographic among the IDF forces in Gaza. Foreign fighters from as far away as the United States, France, Spain, the Netherlands, and even India actively participate in the hostilities. While the exact number of internationals fighting Gaza isn't known, what is known is that citizens from numerous countries appear to be at least complicit in what has been called a genocide. Under Israel's law of return, any individual with at least one Jewish grandparent or spouse can obtain Israeli citizenship. In this regard, many born abroad can serve in Israel's military while still keeping their birth's nationality. They often immigrate and then serve in the army. See, I have a huge problem with this. Now, given as a person who has multi-citizenship, I have 3 passports. The idea, well, I could say this for me, if I were to ever run for Congress, that would be an issue. For me having those 3. For me having those 3 passports. So because that would be seen correctly as a conflict of interest. But yeah,
members of Congress
for
are more
Israel,
than willing to walk in IDF uniform, and that's not an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But as an Israeli, if you're like, well, if you're an American, let's say, and you happen to have dual citizenship, it's okay for you to fight in Israel's army. See, that's where I have the issue with that. So what's with the exceptionalism of Israel that if you have ties to Israel that you're able to do that, but me, if I have, since I have multi-citizenship, I can't run for Congress here. Right. Or if I were to be in the army, which I never will, I would think essentially have to denounce the 2 passports I have in order to fight in the U.S. Army. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, currently, 45% of the Israelis' army lone soldiers, those who serve but don't have family in Israel, are new immigrants. The current lone soldier program has troops from over 60 countries, with approximately 35% from the U.S. It's important to note, though, that individuals part of Israel's lone soldier program are not considered mercenaries, who are professionals hired by a country's government to fight in its war and aren't citizens of said country. To widen the recruitment pool, the Israeli military now accepts great-grandchildren of Jews to join. While they aren't eligible to become Israeli citizens under the law of return, they can serve in the Israeli army. Not sure why they want to do that, but another route is volunteering in Israel's Mahal program, which permits Jewish youth from other countries to join the army without becoming citizens. There are currently 500 Mahal volunteers in Israel's military. Most mercenaries fighting for Israel now are welcomed based on their religious affiliations and dual citizenships, making their accountability pretty complex. Mustafa Fattori, a Libyan journalist and analyst, told MintPress News. Many countries whose citizens are fighting for Israel, including the USA, have laws criminalizing such actions, but it's not a straightforward issue when the dual citizenship is factored in. Fattori expanded on this, writing in the Middle East Monitor that America's Neutrality Act, dating back to the founding days of the U.S., makes it illegal for any American citizen to take part in any foreign war or establish a militia for that purpose. He noted the legislation, however, hasn't been reinforced lately, as hundreds of Americans have participated in wars in Ukraine, in Libya in 2011, and now in Gaza.
Including RFK's son, who served in Ukraine. In case you were wondering. But yeah, plenty of doing that, and I'm sure, going to get to members of the Ukrainian army serving in Israel, right? So
the Israeli military also opens recruits nationals of other countries. For instance, the Israeli consulate in Toronto, Canada, has advertised appointments with its military representative for those wishing to join the military. The consulate website said, young people who wish to enlist in the IDF or anyone who has not fulfilled their obligations according to the Israeli Defense Service law are invited to meet with him. Organizations like Nefesh B'Nefesh, which encourages Jewish immigration to Israel from North America, have hosted events on joining the Israeli military. Sa'el, National Project for Volunteers for Israel, recruits Jewish and non-Jewish internationals to assist Israeli military efforts on army bases, such as packing food and medical supplies. In November, the Spanish newspaper El Mundo revealed that Spanish mercenary Pedro Diaz Flores is now fighting for Israel, having previously fought in Ukraine with the neo-Nazi Azov Brigade.
Yep.
Azov. So I came for economy for money. They pay very well, they offer good equipment, and the work is calm. It is 3,900 euros, $4,187 per week. Complimentary missions aside, Flores told El Mundo.
Collin, how much do you make a week being a teacher?
I have to figure this out. Less than that.
Yeah.
Less than that. To be completely transparent, I make after taxes $1,500 a week.
So literally 4 times what you make as a, preschool teacher. Very important job. Like for them to go kill who you might teach,
right?
Like kids you might teach, they're killing for 4 times the amount you make. So you can either teach them, Collin, or you can kill them and make more money. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm in the wrong profession. Anyway.
Apparently.
Well, not really, because I wouldn't want to do this anyway. But still, the idea that I get paid less to do, I would argue, more meaningful work versus fight in war.
Yeah.
But while pictured next to a border checkpoint with the Gaza Strip, he told the newspaper he's working in the occupied Syrian Golan Heights, saying, "We only provide security support to arms convoys or the troops of the Israeli armed forces that are in the Gaza Strip. We do not fight Hamas directly, nor are we involved in assault operations. We are in charge of the security of the checkpoints and access control on the borders of Gaza and Jordan. There are many PMCs, private military companies here, and they share the work. Traditionally, they have guarded border terminals between Elliot and Aqaba."
Yeah.
He added. He told the newspaper he was recruited by Raven and Global CST. Information on Raven isn't available online. MintPress News reached out to Global CST to verify Flores' contract. Global CST said it doesn't know Flores and that Global CST holds no security or military activities of any type or form, not in Israel, not in Gaza, and not in any other territory worldwide. Sure.
So it wasn't me. They're taking the Shaggy defense. Right. Got it.
Right.
Even though they call me red-handed.
Do we have that on the soundboard?
I can get it.
Yeah.
I can add that.
That's probably something that's probably somewhat worthwhile one to have.
Yeah.
Anyway, Global CST told MintPress News it's a renewable energy company and denied reports it's providing defense and security services to governments and other organizations. On LinkedIn, Global CST is described as offering strategic consulting and project integration management. The website listed on Global CST's LinkedIn is currently down. When asked for a website, Global CST directed MintPress to Global Group's website, which promotes agricultural projects worldwide. The LinkedIn profile of the firm's founder, Israel Ziv, a retired Israeli general, details Global CST as an Israeli-based security consultancy group, which has built a vast and unique track record in various continents around the globe, such as South Africa, Eastern Europe, and Africa. Global CST confirmed to MintPress Ziv is its founder. The company, which also operates under the name Global NTM, was established in 2006 and remains active. In 2018, the U.S. government imposed sanctions on Global CST and Ziv for allegedly supplying weapons to South Sudan. The U.S. Treasury Department said Ziv used an agricultural company as a cover for the sale of approximately $150 million worth of weapons to the government, including rifles, grenade launchers, and shoulder-fired rockets.
Yep.
Israel and its weapons, man.
They love them. I mean,
but
there's tons of contractors over there.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere around the world. Like,
Yep.
all over the fucking place.
Yep.
The U.S. also said Ziv planned to organize attacks by mercenaries on South Sudanese oil fields and infrastructure in an effort to create a problem that only his company and affiliates can solve. The U.S. lifted its sanctions on Ziv and his company in 2020 without an explanation. Gee, I wonder why. Since El Mundo's publication, reports have also emerged of other nationalities involved in a more direct capacity with Israel's assault on Gaza. Footage has surfaced of Israeli soldiers speaking with American accents or with American flag patches on their uniforms.
Yep.
According to the U.S. State Department, 21 American citizens who are members of the Israeli military have been killed in Gaza since the war began. Canadian media has reported its own nationals are volunteering with the Israeli army and are motivated to serve in Gaza. Why? And the British newspaper The Guardian reported British nationals have been killed in Gaza while fighting for Israel. Britons are also arriving in droves to volunteer with the military, like doctors and university chaplains.
Yeah.
Around 100 British citizens are currently part of Israel's military.
Well, and then what they do is they'll bring these guys back, right? Like the ones that stay alive. You know, they did this in Ukraine. I see them now doing this with Israeli mercenaries, essentially, is what these people are. You know, they're like Blackwater Group used to be in Afghanistan and Iraq, right? They bring them back, right, and have them shake hands again with new military recruits, and you know, they go on other military channels and stuff like that, ex-military gun guys, all that stuff, right? Police officers, all that jazz. And it's this us versus them mentality they give military personnel, right? You know, and they are just going to add Palestinians as another them and anyone who supports them. So that's what this is. You know, same thing with Russians in Ukraine and, you know, brown people in Afghanistan, and like this is how that works. It's just indoctrination, propaganda, brainwashing. Plus they get free bodies, so they'll take that. You know. So
in December, Al Jazeera reported 7 Ukrainian mercenaries were reportedly killed near Gaza City while fighting alongside Israeli forces. This news came as images of Israeli soldiers speaking Ukrainian circulated on social media.
Yep.
The Ukrainian government denies its citizens are fighting in Gaza, however. We did not send any soldiers to the Gaza Strip or any other region of the world, Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesman told Al Jazeera. The footage that shows people speaking Ukrainian in the Gaza Strip may be Israelis of Ukrainian or Slavic origins who have no connection to the state, the spokesman added. According to Australian journalist C.J. Whirlman, Israeli soldiers of Indian origin are also fighting in Gaza. The Indian Foreign Ministry did not respond to inquiries of whether its citizens are fighting in Gaza. In December, ICAD, an Arabic open source platform, revealed Foreign Observations Group as an American mercenary company fighting alongside Israeli forces in Gaza. Close examination of Forward Observations Group Instagram account suggests the group has been cooperating with the Israeli army since October, first stationed around the Gaza border and then located within the enclave by the end of November. The last image on this account from Gaza is dated January 16th. Another post dated January 11 depicts camera footage of Israeli soldiers fighting in Gaza. It is captioned, "Helmet cam footage of a LOTRA Special Forces team leader we embedded with shortly after the after the October 7th attack."
Yeah.
A recent Instagram story from Forward Observations shows a soldier in a hospital bed draped with Forward Observations flag. An Israeli flag hangs on the wall next to him, which you can see right here.
Okay.
ICAD discovered the company was founded in October 2018, and while billing itself as a military gear shop, it currently only has one item in stock, a first aid bag. Forward Observations was registered as a foreign limited liability company in Nevada on October 15, 2020, and remains active. Derek Bates, a former U.S. infantry soldier who fought in Afghanistan, founded the company. A Forward Observations Instagram post on November 9, 2023, confirmed Bales as the company's former director and revealed his official Instagram is under the name Raul Duke. In February, Bales responded to ICAD's investigation with a photo from Gaza on his Instagram account, writing, "ICAD Facts, here's some more pictures for your article." According to Foreign Policy, Forward Observations traveled to Ukraine to source medical supplies, gear, and money for Ukrainian soldiers. Bales has been criticized for associating with Vadim Lavlev, a member of the far-right Azov Battalion. He apologized for his connections to Bavev, but said the brigade isn't as radical as alleged. Yet ICAD found otherwise. For instance, ICAD's thorough scrutiny of Levev's social media accounts found photos of Levev giving a Nazi salute, holding a sign featuring a swastika, and wearing a necklace with the infamous Nazi symbol as well.
Of course.
Forward Observations did not respond to MintPress's inquiries to verify if its personnel are indeed in Gaza and what it's doing there.
There are no Nazis in Ba Sing Se, pretty much.
Amid the revelations that citizens of other countries may be participating in Israel's genocide on Gaza, some governments and activists are taking a stand. In December, South Africa announced it might prosecute or even strip the citizenship of South African nationals who have joined the Israeli army and are fighting in Gaza. Actually, I'm hearing this today.
Yeah.
In regards to this, this is what South Africa is saying. The South African government is gravely concerned by reports that some African citizens and permanent residents have joined or are considering joining the IDF in the war in Gaza and the other occupied Palestinian territories, the State Department of International Relations and Cooperation said. Also in December, French parliamentary member Thomas Porte sent a letter to France's Justice Minister Eric Dupond-Moretti requesting he investigate around 4,000 French citizens fighting with Israeli forces on the front lines in Gaza. The March 30th movement, a European pro-Palestine group founded in November, has already filed 7 complaints against Dutch Israelis currently serving in the Israeli army in Gaza. They have also filed complaints against Israeli soldiers who traveled to the Netherlands to protest the International Court of Justice proceedings and a French-Israeli soldier who is also in the Netherlands. While these soldiers don't have Dutch nationality, they can be investigated because they were on Dutch soil, the March 30th movement told MintPress News. The group is also submitting a case in Belgium and other cases against French nationals.
Okay.
They posted themselves on Instagram or on TikTok standing on the rubbles of a house in Gaza saying, "We want to wipe out Amalek from under the sky, and we want to kill them all." Diab Abu Jahad, president of the March 30th movement, told MintPress News. Amalek refers to the Israelis' rival in the Hebrew Bible and was invoked by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu when calling to attack Gaza. Abdul Jahar added, "They think they are beyond the reach of justice. Maybe if they were only Israeli, but if they are Belgian, we're going to make sure that we take them to court."
Good for them. Oh, too far. There you go. Look.
Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I feel like I said most of my thoughts, you know. This is definitely par for the course. You know, you see this a lot with a lot of these wars. Is a lot of like American mercenaries, UK mercenaries, you know, expats, ex-military guys who have nothing else better to do. Ex-Navy SEALs I know have been going to Ukraine and stuff, like, you know, pretty much guns for hire, right?
Yeah.
You know, so, and now this also has religious stuff on top of that helps this out. So, but yeah, I mean, $4,000 a week is a paycheck. So if you survive, you know, which when you're only killing people with rocks and whatever, you know, like, I heard a lot of them were really unhappy with what was going on in Ukraine when they went over and then they left, because like they were not winning. So, but you know, you're going to see Israel and I'm sure Taiwan next, will have this happen. Yeah. So, you know, proxy wars at their finest. But yeah, which, you know, is why we're probably, you know, one of the reasons we're demonetized talking about this, right? So, you know, you can give us money in other ways though at ko-fi.com/indie news network or by scanning the QR code you see there. If you can't support us financially, we appreciate you supporting us in other ways by liking and subbing and sharing. You know, leave a comment. Let us know what number you got when you hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 2K. We're almost there, right? 1.86, something like that.
Well, almost 1.86.
Okay.
4 away from 1.86.
Cool. So we're that number's going up. Appreciate you, fam, if you're doing that.